Hey everyone, it's Sapling6 here and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I wanted to put together a video that took concepts and ideas from countless hours of research I've done and how to approach and get better at gaming. If you feel like you've plateaued and can't get out of the bracket you're in, it's time to be self-critical. And here are some steps I'm currently trying to take as I climb out of the legend bracket myself. Step 1. It's your mentality. You need to be honest with yourself and understand your own capabilities and limitations. Set a realistic goal and being realistic with the time it takes to get there. In Dota, if you have a win percentage of 51% or higher, you're actually considered a good player. That means you're winning more games than you're losing, and therefore your MMR is increasing. But let's say you want to gain 1,000 MMR. And let's also say, at best, you win 52% of your games. To gain 1,000 MMR, you would need to have a plus 34 solo game record. Now let's say, for example, you have a 52% win rate. That would mean you would have to play 850 games with a record of 442 wins and 408 losses. So instead of focusing on, I want to gain 1,000 MMR, I highly recommend breaking the game down into a smaller portion and ask yourself questions like, how can I improve my laning stage? How can I improve my last hitting? Is my target priority in fights correct? Questions like this will help you gain MMR over time. Jenkins Dota has a great video on what he essentially calls the 40-40-20 rule. That is, 40% of your games, he says, are unwinnable. Other 40% are not losable, and then there's that 20% of games that you actually have impact on and can go either way. These 20% of the games are the ones that are critical to your influence in the game. You never know when you're going to get one of these three types of games, so you have to play your best at all times. And in order to do that, you need the PMA, the positive mental attitude, and that's got to be key. You're at the bracket you're at because of you and only because of you. Step 2, diet and exercise. This is arguably the most important one. Exercising floods your body with endorphins, and endorphins bring about happy feelings and allow you to play the game at the best mental state possible. Give it a try for a few weeks, I challenge you. Exercise for at least 30 minutes before playing about 3 hours of Dota, and I bet by the end of it, you will notice you are a lot more happier throughout. Step 3, formulate your plan and review your plan. Here's where you want to identify a part of your game to work on. Saying, I want to gain 1,000 MMR is actually not the right way to actually gaining 1,000 MMR. Take a look at a part of your game. Let's say you're a core player. Are you at the top of the net worth charts at 10 minutes consistently? If the answer is no, then you should try to figure out why. And let's say for the next 10 games you focus solely on last hitting, solely on your rotations and farming, and the 10 minutes in the laning stage. Once you have identified what you want to work on for that day, you need to review some replays. Let's be honest though, who does this? If you're not reviewing replays, then I would argue you are not serious about gaining MMR, period. You need to review your games from yesterday, watch very closely what you do wrong in the areas you want to work on, and make that the main focus for the day. You need to take notes. Step 4, action your plan. Now it's time to hit the find match button. Up to this point, you've gathered notes, you've reviewed your replays from yesterday and focused solely on those flaws in that game that you want to work on. Now, once you queue into a match, I recommend finding 3 heroes in the current meta that are strong and only playing those 3 heroes. When it comes your turn to pick, you need to counter what you see. Counter what you see. Pick a hero that counters everything you see. Let's say you're a support player though, and I have to pick first, you say. Well, who are the 3 best support heroes right now in the current meta? You should be picking one of those 3. Now, with your action plan ready to go, play 2 to 3 games and focused heavily on the flaws that you've identified in the formulating of your plan. Step 5 is to take a break and review your replays. After you play your 2 to 3 games, take a 30-minute break. When you come back, review all your replays in order and take notes on that specific flaw you are trying to improve on. How did you do? Did you come out better than you were when you started? What could you have done better? Once you have identified some of the improvements you want to make on that specific flaw, it's time for the next step. And step 6 is refinement. Play 2 to 3 more games and continue to refine that flaw. As a reminder, don't worry about whether or not you're winning or losing. Remember, we're focused on incrementally getting better. Last step, step 7, is your replay review. Once again, get out a notepad and paper and review your replays. Take down notes on that same flaw you were working on, but this time, start to identify something else during your stage of your game you want to improve. Once you have identified that next thing you want to improve, that will become your next flaw that you want to work on the following day, and you're going to use that in tomorrow's session. So start from step 1 all over again with the newfound flaw that you wanted to work on. By doing this, what you'll end up doing is building proficiency on some of these small things over time. So if you still need to work on things like last hitting in the laning stage, then make that the main focus until it becomes second nature, and don't add something new to it until you're ready. Guys, I am by no means a top tier player, and most of us casual players don't have the kind of time needed to invest into a game, especially Dota, to get to the highest levels. That's where I need to find fun in Dota again, and realize that it's an incredibly complex game, it's always changing, and I just got to keep reminding myself why I love it so much. And it's because of all the things I just mentioned. The last thing I want to leave you with is copy the pros, guys. Just copy the pros. Pick your favorite player. Pick your favorite player who plays your favorite hero and just watch what they do. Learn from their farming patterns. Where do they place wards? Who do they target in fights? What items are they buying? Everything. Copy the pros. And ask yourself, what can I do by copying them to improve my own games? Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope this helps at least one person. Let me know in the comments below what you guys do to improve, and I hope to see you guys back over on my stream at Sapling6 on Facebook. Thanks, squad. You guys are the best. Take care.